I'm not, actually.
It's all me.
It's all Julie tonight.
It's all me tonight. Just me. Nobody else. Hey, everybody.
There is no Brian.
There is no Brian.
There's only Jules.
Only Jules.
There's only Jules.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Oh,
Whether
hold on. Let me move this cord before it becomes a
liability.
catastrophe.
They're going to get hurt. I have no messages. Why do I have no messages? And there they are. Okay.
Oh, let me scoot in closer to you.
Oh, please do.
Since you don't bite.
No, I nibble. Like a little piranha.
You are a piranha.
All right. So, let's say hello to everybody, I suppose, to start it off. I got James Loves Rocks.
Hello, James.
Mr. Turtle Montana.
Mr. Turtle.
Allison. Also a moderator, thank you.
Thank you.
We got Rufotris, Chris is in the house, another moderator. And Karen, Ozone Fine Art Ventures,
hello, Karen.
Another moderator. Tomcat Josh, another moderator. Wow, we got a lot of moderators. I like this.
Yeah.
Glad to see you all here.
Yeah.
Patricia Bach.
Hello, Patricia.
Yvonne Terry.
Yvonne.
There's been quite a conversation between them apparently here.
Yes, been talking.
Patricia's Creations is here.
Hello, Patricia.
And her other half, Danny.
Hello, Danny.
And it looks like that. Wait a minute. Nope, there's more down here.
Denise.
Oh, B-Rad.
Denise Willoughby.
Yep.
Hello, Denise.
Hello, Brad.
Brad.
B-Rad.
B-Rad.
Mike Webb. Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Let's see. Anybody else?
Anybody else in the
Anybody
house?
else want to say hi? We'll say hi back. John. Hi, John.
John.
Oh, we've got Aaron and Kayla in the house.
Hello, Aaron and Kayla.
Good to see you guys. Steve Drew, hello.
Steve Drew.
Steve and Cindy, yep. Vicky's on board. Hi, Vicky.
Hello, Vicky.
Derek Esley.
Hello, Derek.
It is what it is. What are we talking about, Derek, when you say it is what it is? Did you put something else in here I missed earlier? What are you up to?
What are you up to, Derek?
What are you doing, Derek?
Sarah.
We're on to you.
Maggie and Brian, hello.
Hi, guys. 1945. Hey, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Lynn D.
Hello, Lynn.
We got Debbie Wilson. Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Brenda Bloom.
Hello, Brenda.
J&V, Mr. Jeffro.
Jeffro.
King Botholio.
King Botholio.
Is in the house as well. Belinda Peacock. Kelly Morse Johnson. Hello.
Hello,
Listening
Kelly.
on your phone. That's cool. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello, Cheryl.
Watching, but you can't type. That's fine. Blind Squirrel Rocks. Hello.
Hello, Squirrel.
And I think that's everybody. I think we caught up to everyone that wanted to say hi to us. So, hi back, of course.
Sorry,
Welcome.
I'm taking an allergy pill.
Oh, just one more rock friends here.
Hi, Fred.
Glad to have you all here. Tonight's conversation will be a little bit different than what we've normally done, I suppose. Well, probably not, because every time we do something, it's completely different.
It is different.
But we're going to spend some time going over GAIA mapping program.
Yes.
Specifically because that's the one that we utilize, and we're not sponsored by them. If we were, it would be great.
Yeah. Hi, Chad, by the way.
Hi, Chad. Yeah, because we could always, then you guys might get discounted prices for it or something. I don't know. Hi, Rossio.
Hello, Rossio.
Tanya Lynn, hi.
And Tasman.
Stuck in there. The Tasman is here. Yes, he is.
The Tasman is here. Tanya Lynn.
Truck full of rocks coming in hot. I like it. But the reason, Mark's in.
Yes, and thank you, Chris.
And Kersey. Oh,
Chris.
Yeah, get some thank yous out.
Yes, thank you, Chris, for that, what are those called?
Super chat?
The super
Sticker,
chats.
Super chat.
And then Debbie, thank you, Debbie, for the sticker.
Do you know you as the boss can actually, I think, you can give them a heart.
Oh, I can give you
See
a
that?
heart. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
I've been meaning to tell you that for a while. So.
And Chris has been a member for 2 months of the AZRE team. Awesome. He says, let's get this party started.
Yeah, we'll get it started.
Awesome.
Is the Opal guy in?
The Opal guy. Let me see.
I saw hi to
Yes.
Tog. He
Yes.
is.
Hi, Don. I saw Don.
I saw hi Tog, and I'm like, wait a minute, I missed him. Where'd he go?
You said Tog.
Yeah.
Don.
Tog.
Tog?
The opal guy. Tog. That's the short for him.
Oh.
So when I saw that, there he
opal
is. See?
Tog.
We missed you, but now we found you. So.
Turtle, I'm too old to party.
Yeah. I'm just, Beth Ellen Nagel's in. Hi.
Hello,
Sarah
Beth.
jumped in as well.
Hello, Sarah.
And we did say hi to Kirsty.
Hi, Kirsty.
Just in case you didn't hear us. Anyways, the reason
and Wildheart.
we're going to go, oh, hi, yes. The reason we're going to do GAIA is because that's the mapping program that we've utilized the most. When we get started into this, we're going to focus the camera onto my tablet, and I'm going to run GAIA through my tablet so you can see as I move my hand where things are going and what we're doing. If you have the ability to put this up on your TV, for example, and then utilize your phone or your tablet or iPad with GAIA, you can kind of follow along. In some instances between the iPhone and the tablet, button locations might be different, but the concept is still the same. Yeah. Worst case scenario is watch it now. You can replay it later on at your leisure and be able to go through and pick and select some of these things that we're going to show you. It's not overly complex. Once you get the basics, it becomes very, very easy to use. And then I guess the rationale behind why we use it is I read some chats in here, and I was like a lot of you, loved maps. Loved them since I was a kid. I would get the road atlas every year when it updated. The big, you put it in the back seat of the truck or car or whatever. And
hi, Ma.
And of course, when I started with the Forest Service, we used topographic maps, we used the roads maps, we used the Thomas Brothers maps because we didn't have GPS to tell us where to get from here to there and so on and so forth. So every time we had to get to a fire, somebody had to be mapping out our route if we didn't automatically know where we were going. And then, of course, as we traveled across the country, we'd have to try, figure out stopping locations and so on and so forth. And it was normal, but it was more complex than what it is now with the mapping programs that are available. So that's why we want to go over this with folks, because this technology that's available to you is amazing, and you can get so much information out of such a simple app. It's going to blow your mind. So with that, you're going to see I have like 9 mapping applications that I've used, and I will say, because of my time with the Forest Service, especially when I was flying in the right seat of the airplane, leading the air tankers and helicopters and stuff, I found that GAIA was the best mapping application I could use for places I've never been to, because, you might start off your day, say at Prescott, which was a local airport for me, but I could end up, in northern Montana by the end of the day. And I'm not familiar with that area, but I've got this GAIA map that I can pull up, and I can start picking out local name places. I can actually get private property information, water sources. I mean, all kinds of just really cool stuff. And so over the course of doing that, when we started with the rock hounding, I was using GAIA a lot, and I was telling Julie, you need to use GAIA. You need to use GAIA. And she was using Google Earth, and she was doing good. Don't get me wrong. Julie's very, very, very good with Google Earth. She'll put most people to shame with Google Earth. But then she started using GAIA, and I created a monster here that I'm so very proud of. It's to the point now that she doesn't even need me anymore.
I don't need him.
She doesn't.
I just want you.
She can do the mappings. I'm glad you want me, because I didn't come with a return label.
He didn't.
So with that in mind, this is not to slam any other mapping program that's out there. If you have something that you absolutely love and you're very familiar and good with, use it. OnX is one of those ones that I've heard about from a number of people. It's primarily for hunting for most folks, but it gives you the private property boundaries and a lot of these things. I don't know the extent of it because I've never really messed with it. I went with GAIA, and I've stuck with it. And because it's more universal in my understanding with regards to what we're looking for as rockhounds.
And Google is okay, but Google can get you into trouble.
Yeah, Google Maps is notorious to get you into trouble.
It takes you to places that
hey,
you don't
Mr.
want
Turtle.
to be, or missing routes. I went to my doctor last week for what I thought was arthritis. Turns out it was actually early onset rigor mortis. Thank you, Turtle.
Turtle. I'm going to tell you something on that before we get into this.
Thank you, Ma.
I think
rocks and boxes.
That's what's been happening to me because I wake up every morning and my hand is curled like this, and I can get all of them to go except for this one. And then I have to go like this, and then it'll start to move, and then it just creaks the whole time.
You want to hear something funny, though? He'll reach over to me and go, oh, I know I have to do it. I'm like, you have another hand. I'm like, you can do it yourself.
It's an excuse to get you to touch me. Okay. Did we miss anybody else that slid in while we were goofing around over? Oh, hi, Ma. Another moderator. Ma's in.
And I said it before, but I will say it again because I did see it earlier.
Oh.
Hi, Maggie.
Yes, we did
hi,
say
Brian.
that earlier. Got to say hi to the kids.
Gotta say hi to the kids.
So yes, hi, Maggie, even though I said it before, but I'll say it again.
Say it again.
Say it again.
Say it again.
All right. It's the claw, says Turtle. Yeah, that's what it's like. It's weird. So anyways, so Julie and I, when we start traveling and we're headed somewhere, I've got Google Maps up, you know, with our destinations and whatnot. So I've got time frames and whatnot. And she's usually tracking with her iPad next to me because I'll say, oh, hey, we need to start thinking about fuel, you know, in the next town. Can you find the cheapest fuel? And she's a great navigator for doing that kind of stuff. Or, hey, you know, I'm getting kind of tired. Where do you want to crash for the night? And she'll find us a place that we can pull off and do dispersed camping, or maybe we're going to go do
I find that with
hookups
GAIA.
or something. Well, with GAIA, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we start going off-road, that's when Google Maps kind of just goes to the wayside, and it's pretty much all GAIA because it's not going to steer us down a road that doesn't exist. It's not going to make us turn into somebody's living room to get to the campground like Google Maps did. So that's just, we've told the story. We can always tell it again. But it's very important, you know, that you learn and get efficient with GAIA so that you can use it appropriately. So with that, you want to get started?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to turn off the video on this so it doesn't interrupt.
I have to manage chats now, so.
She's the chat manager.
I'm the chat master.
Yay, chat master fly. All right. I'll try to have one over here.
Oh.
Okay.
And everybody, if you like this content, please hit that thumbs up. Crystal thumb.
Kirsty said she had the same thing with
Hit
four of
that
her
crystal
fingers.
thumb.
And then Yvonne says, I need to wind that middle finger up. That's why I kept it to the side. I was trying to keep it somewhat nice.
Somewhat.
Well, because I'm supposed to wear mittens. I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There have been so many times this week where he's like, mittens, mittens.
Oh, and then they were talking about the old directions, which I think is hysterical. It's like, turn by the big oak and everyone's in trouble if it's ever cut down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to flip this thing over,
I will
or
flip this
however you
thing
want
over.
to position it.
Okay, so we gotta, you know what? It would be best if you
Keep
put
it upright?
up like that so that no lights.
Oh yeah, good call.
it.
Outstanding. See, this is why you're in charge.
And then I will go down like so.
I guess I can.
And then
Wait a
we
minute.
will.
You're gonna want that there.
Yeah, push that
I'm
forward.
gonna take this up that away.
Yep.
Now I've got to reach though.
Okay.
I got to play stretch.
Hi, Sir Rocks a lot.
Oh, it's gonna be backwards, isn't it?
Nope, it's not.
Oh, it's not. That's right. Good.
There we go.
And then you can zoom it in a bit.
Yep.
Get my pineapple juice out of the way.
Okay, so this is how we're doing it because we're not good at sharing screens.
We haven't figured that part out yet. So
Yeah.
someday.
Someday we will.
All right. So first thing to do, obviously, is you pull up the GAIA app. Now, there is a feature in here that you can turn off all your locations and everything, which I did do because I don't want any of you screenshotting and then going to our secret places.
Which we have
So,
like 700 of them.
We've got a lot of them.
Maybe 1,000.
There's a lot. In order to do that, though,
You got to pay for that. No,
Yeah,
I'm
you got to
kidding.
pay for that. Just to show you that right off the bat, you go to settings and you can go to appearance. I believe it was under, no, it wasn't appearance. But in appearance, this is an important thing. You can set up, like I use dark mode.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I like mine in dark mode. I think that's an important thing for me because I like it. But If you want to use metric units, you can. You can use nautical units, whatever. And then your coordinate type. And for most people, the easiest coordinates out there are degrees, decimal, minutes. Okay, if you don't know what that is, that would
Caleb.
be, if you look right up here in this corner, actually, it's not degrees, decimal, minutes. Why didn't it? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, Fred, he drinks the hard stuff.
34 degrees, 33.6881. This is just giving the location of where we are. So,
Okay, so when you put your hand there, it gets blurry. So
Yeah.
just to let you know.
so that's degrees,
you go.
decimal, minutes. That's the easiest format that anybody can use. And then WGS 84 is the datum that most people are using. There's several different kinds. Don't get lost in that. Just know that if you switch to a different datum like NAD 27, which is North American Data 27, you could be off by 100 feet in any given direction. So, because there are some differences. So once you pick a datum, stay with it. Okay, so that's the important part of that under the appearances. Map controls, you can come in here, you can put up your compass, full screen, 3D buttons, true north, all these things, location marker colors. You can cluster your waypoints, got your zoom buttons. Just these are just little things that can make things a lot easier for you.
Okay, so Tomcat Josh says, I hear Onyx Maps is really good.
That's my understanding as well, but I don't have practical experience with it.
Yeah. And I don't know if it has all the layers that Gaia does.
That's the one thing I don't know. So if anybody knows that as we're going, please let me know.
Because we can pull up the lithology of everywhere.
Yeah,
It also
which-
has like old maps.
Yeah, which right now I already have it already set up. So what I'm going to do, now that we're onto this screen, so this is a basic screen, and then what I like to do is hit that, because then it takes me to where my little dot is, which would be us. And then, of course, from here, that's your layers. This is the important part, okay? When your layers pop up, you've got multiple options, and I'm going to turn a bunch of these off right now so we can get to the basics. Down here is where you can turn your tracks, routes, areas, waypoints, and whatnot. And so,
Okay, so Yvonne says Onyx has all the layers.
okay.
And then Josh asked, how much is Gaia?
Gaia is $59.95 a year. Works out to $5 a month, and as Julie and I have determined, it's very much worth $5.
And Jeff says, hunting wise, it's also good. And yes, that's a lot of hunters use Onyx.
Yes, that is a big time hunting app, and there's, like I said, from my understanding, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not one that I got into because I got into Gaia because it was meeting all of my needs, so I stayed with it.
Hey, Cheryl.
So the first thing you're going to do when you get up here is there's different map packs when you get into this that you can decide what you want to use. Okay, so you hit the plus button, and then here's all the map packs that are available to you, and you can build your own, which I have done, but that's not the point. We're not going to do that today. So as you can see, you've got the Gaia topo and winter. There's a satellite topo, USGS, Trail Forks mountain biking. You get a mountain biking map, snowmobile maps, hunting maps, satellite overlanding. So that's going off the trail. A water map, fishing, winter backcountry, slope angles, air quality, smoke and fire, cell coverage, weather forecast, snow depth, bike touring, historic topos back to 1900. That one's pretty cool to
That one
find
is super cool.
because you can start picking up maps from before. So it's really pretty cool. So
Hey, Bison.
first thing you do then is you pick your map. And I usually stick with the satellite topo, which is this one right here. And I'll turn it off for a second. No, I can't. You have to have one on. So it's on, which is cool. So that right there is your satellite topo. And it's showing our little town of Camp Verde and where we live. Don't be paying too much attention to that, please. Just thought about that. Let me get out of there. Let me go over here.
Yeah, go over there.
Let's go over to Prescott. Okay, so we're over here now in Prescott and whatnot. And you can see all the different roads. And then you have zoom layers. And there's different ways you can do it. But the easiest way is just to grab your screen and pull. And as you zoom in, more and more roads start to open up. And what's really cool is this is already telling me that there's a property boundary right in here. Now, what you can do, which I like to do, is I will almost 99% of the time come in and you can add overlays. So you have your base map. That's what we put up first. That's a base map. Now we're going to put in overlays. And in the overlays, you've got all these you can choose from. Air quality, today and tomorrow, avalanche forecast, bedrock geology. We're going to use that one. Cell coverage specific to your carrier or all carriers. You can put in contour lines by feet or meters, light pollution, the MVM map, that's the motor vehicle use map. That's where you're actually allowed to drive a vehicle on National Forest System roads without getting in trouble. You can put up the mines and mineral resources, mountaineering routes, native land territories, open sea, the PLSS grid. We've talked about that and a couple other things. That's your public land survey system.
Don said wildfire danger.
Uh-huh. It will actually give you wildfires. I don't think it'll give you the danger on that. You have precip forecast, private land, public land, roadless areas. That's good to know. Shaded reliefs, slope angles in there. Here's your smoke forecast for 24 and 48 hour and for today. And then down here, snow forecast, if you're a snow person.
Oh, thank you, Tomcat Josh. He just gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
Snowmobile
Thanks,
trails. There's your Trail Forks mountain bike trails. So, and then U.S. hydrography, if you want to see the way rivers and everything flows. Forest Service recreation sites, roads and trails, wilderness areas. There's your current wildfires. You can also get historical. And then here's wildfires by satellite detection. So that's your current wildfires. So as far as fire danger goes, it doesn't seem to have that as an option that I've seen, but I've never really used it either. So when you have one of these, if you want it, you hit bedrock geology, for example, and I've already added it. That's why over here it says remove. So once you click it, and then you say add, and it's going to add it to your list of layers that you can put on. Now, on the tablet, I can have as many layers on as I want. If I can get that to work.
Turtle says, I'm going to come stalk you now that I've seen your home address.
And so under the layers here, like I said, with the overlays on this one, you can have as many of these up here as you want on a tablet. On the phone, I think it only lets you get 3, maybe 4, and then it gets kind of hard to work with. So the first thing I will do when I come in is I turn on my public land, and you can see how that just changed to the map in the background. Let me shrink this down. All the green, it's national forest, but that's your public land, so that must mean this stuff here is something else, right? Obviously. You come out a little further, you see the yellow, that's Bureau of Land Management land. You see the purple, that's Arizona State Trust land. Okay, if we get out of Arizona, we'll just go up to Utah. And once again, we can see Forest Service land, Bureau of Land Management, and Utah State. So it's the same colors. Doesn't matter where you go into, it'll be the same colors. So kind of handy. And then, of course, we're going to go back down here for a moment. I want to stay near Prescott where we were. My famous phrase. There we go.
Your famous tune.
My tune, yep. So we're back in Prescott with those funny shapes. So we want to know what those are. We go back. Why did that close?
Your fingers.
That was rude. Come back. Come back.
There we go.
Thank you. Put that off to the side. Turn my screen up. Layers. Here we go. Now I'm going to put up private land. And then, of course, when I come out, if you start looking, you'll start seeing some names, which is pretty cool. So if I tap on that, I'm going to get the information I'm looking for here on that particular piece of ground. That's the McKinley Family Limited Partnership. Private land. Well, how much is it? Well, it's 7,090 acres. Holy crap.
That's a lot of acres.
That's a lot of acres.
Yeah.
So, and Bobby McKinley's the owner. So if I was wanting to do something on Bobby McKinley's land, I know he's in Quemado, New Mexico, I could probably do a person search, find his information, and email or write a letter and say, hey, I'd like to rockhound on your property.
Yeah.
So, you know,
You're welcome, Tig.
That's one way you can get yourself permission to go on private property.
Thanks for joining us.
You can use that. Now, as we turn more layers on, it gets more and more interesting as we go. So I'm just going to tap on the green. And for now, it says unknown owner, private, U.S. And then it says Socorro Field Office, public land, U.S. How did I end up?
Oh, thank you, Yvonne.
Did I end up in New Mexico somehow?
She sent 10 AZ Rockhound Expedition gift memberships.
Oh, well, thank you. I did end up in New Mexico. That's why.
We have extra content for those of you who
are members.
So you can go into the members section, the AZRE team, and find that. Some are crazy. Sorry about the Cheeto thing.
Now we're back into Prescott. So this will be a little better, a little easier here. So there you go, Prescott National Forest, and then it says unknown owner, private land, U.S. Typically, when it says that, if you go in and you take a look, that's going to be either Forest Service or BLM because it's 93,197 acres.
Ooh.
Nobody owns that much land in one given area. So what it is they don't have enough information for whatever reason to know that, to say it, but it does say U.S., meaning U.S. government, because there it's public land. So it's not private. That's not correct. It is Prescott National Forest, and there's your information. So you can find out exactly which national forest and all that stuff. So that's just an example of that area. You know, if I want to be nosy again, I'm going to go into Ponderosa Park.
And Chris says that this has been the most helpful map app that he's ever used.
Yeah, this is a great app. In here, you can see private property strung out all through the place. So here, well, we know that's Martin J. Woensdrecht living there. And Martin owns 0.31 acres on 1412 West McKee Mine Road. So that's how much information you can get just from those two layers, public and private. That's all I've put up so far. Okay, so now with that in mind, we're going to add some more layers. I like to put in Forest Service roads and trails. The reason I do, you probably just noticed, that one suddenly just got a little bit brighter to see. Come on, GAIA, don't be a turd, because that's a Forest Service road. So it shows it a little better. If you zoom out, like we were, see those roads that were barely visible? Now they really show up. So pretty cool. And then again, you tap on this, and oops, not that long. That's how you draw stuff. We don't want to do that. Oops, no. Quit. I want that. So now it tells me the unknown owner, once again, private Forest Service. That's what it is. Well, here it is. That's Marapai. It's Road 64. Now I know.
And yes, Cheryl, you can look up land by the owner's name.
Okay.
Because you can click on the land and it'll say who owns it.
Yep. Okay, so those are 3 layers I've put up so far. All right, now I'm going to add the one that we really want to see. This is my favorite, bedrock geology. And oh my gosh, the map went red. Okay, well, there's a reason the map went red. Okay, if anybody's used the program ROCKD, R-O-C-K-D, that is basically what this is incorporated into GAIA to make it one-stop shopping. So now I can take and tap an area in the National Forest, lift up my information.
And this is my favorite.
And once again, unknown owner, but we know it's National Forest because there it is. And then it tells me it's Government Canyon Tonalite. That's the bedrock geology. Oh, really? Well, what happens if I hit that little button right there? Look at that. I just got a description. Not only do I know that it's 1.6 to 2.5 billion years old, I know that it's medium-grained, equigranular, hornblende biotite stock.
Now, it doesn't show the mineral rights or claim ownerships for small miners. It does show, however, large...
I'll put that one on next.
Yep, larger... we should go to...
MLRS? You don't want to go to that.
No. Like show them over by
Yeah, I was going to move around a little bit.
Yeah, show them where like a big mine is.
Yeah. So here is all this stuff telling you what this layer has inside of that particular color. And then if you look right here, this little link, that'll take you to the actual report, and you can get more information from that. So that's what's really cool about this. It's nice one-stop shopping. So with that in mind, I'm going to close these down just a little bit.
Go over by Burrow Creek.
And we'll go zoom out. Now you see there's all kinds of interesting colors. So we know where the tonalite is existing. Let's go over here, Kendrick Mountains, Granite Basin. I need to go this way. Grayback Mountains, we're getting there. Upper Burrow Creek Wilderness. Here we go. Now I'm going to tag something else though, because I want to see what's this lightish lavender pinkish thing. Early Proterozoic granitic rocks. Well, what do we know about that? Oh, we have quartz diorite. So, quartz.
It also tells, oops, sorry, hit
That was
that.
you.
It also tells you what the age
Age of it is, yep.
as
So,
well.
and again, there's all your information, and then you can click on that link, and it'll take you further to do your research. So, but now you know that it's quartz.
And, wait, go up there. And up here it tells you what the major is.
Oh, here, let me
what
tag.
you can look for.
I'll tag this orange one.
Yeah.
Now that is a streak of orange in the middle of that. So here we get early Proterozoic metavolcanic rocks.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Winnie.
So basalt, andesite, dacite, rhyolite. Hey, hey, hey.
Happy birthday, Ryan. Late belated.
It does look a little different on your iPhones, but it's the same kind of stuff. But here's the interesting thing. We got basalt, andesite, dacite, and rhyolite, okay, which are major types of basalt, the andesite, dacite, rhyolite. And then there's many other types, like there's, I don't even know. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm just losing my brain. But that's the kind of stuff you're looking for if you want to find agates, because the silica content in andesite, dacite, and rhyolite.
But you also have to look at the time, and you also have to look at if there's any water, springs, if
Right.
it looks like, yeah.
I'm just saying that's just,
There's one component.
it's one component to help you get started. Now, again, the interesting part is, if you noticed where I stuck the pin,
Where'd you stick it?
right in that orange band right in between all these things, okay?
Yeah.
So it's a very thin layer that's trapped in there. So then maybe you want to look and see what's in this one. And again, you pull it up, granite.
Granite.
What's on this side? Granite.
Okay, so that must be a top layer.
It's a top layer of volcanic material that came through.
So that was left over.
So,
That's slowly eroding away.
yeah. And then, oh, hey, blue. What's that? Now I'm curious. Early tertiary to late Cretaceous volcanic rocks. Oh, here we go. More volcanism here. So that's just giving you an idea of what this can do. And then, of course, as you zoom out, you can see just how busy the map can get when you have all of those things.
Look how colorful Arizona is.
Pretty colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty handy. And then look way up into here.
Colorado.
I mean, look at these
Utah.
bands.
Wow.
I mean, you're looking at the geology basically and seeing the way the units run. So it's super cool. This is how we determine when we want to go somewhere, where is it we want to go? You know, so if we're looking for, well, I don't know. Let's do petrified wood just for
Okay.
the giggles, right?
Yep.
So we have the Petrified National Forest, National Park here, or Petrified Forest National Park. There we go. Now, of course, we can't go rock hounding in there,
Nope.
right? But
But you can go visit.
where the heck did the boundary of that go?
I don't know.
I don't either. What is this thing doing?
I don't know. Something your fingers are not
All right,
doing.
turning off a layer for a moment. Because see, sometimes it's just too busy. All right, National Park. There it is.
Do they have the moon available as well? Dawn said.
Moon. I haven't looked at moon phases, but
phases?
I think that on X probably does because that's more hunting related.
Yeah, that would be more hunting related.
I'm going to tap bedrock geology and turn it back on unless my Gaia wants to freeze. Okay, wants to be a jerk.
No, the geology.
Come on. Layers.
Oh, Cheryl wants to
There
know,
we go.
what does Minnesota look like?
What does Minnesota look like? Okay.
We'll go up to Minnesota.
And real quick here, any of these maps that you want to save, you put it right here. Save offline maps. And so it will pop back up when you are offline.
The geology of the moon.
Oh, the geology of the moon.
Oh, gosh, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Okay. Why is my geology layer not up, though?
I don't know if they've totally mapped the geology of the moon. I think they're just scratching the surface on that.
Come on.
But, you know, I'm not going to rock hound on the moon.
There we go.
I mean, maybe if it was readily available, I probably would.
We want to see what Minnesota looks like? There you go.
There it is. There's Minnesota. Zoom in on that.
We got some green. Let's see what the green over here is.
What's the green?
Late Cretaceous sedimentary.
Thank you, Beth.
So,
She gave us a
thank you.
sticker, or it's a super chat. Super chat or sticker? I'm not quite sure. Is that a sticker?
I don't know. I think it's super chat.
Super chat.
Anyways,
Thank you, Beth.
so that's what Minnesota looks like. And the other thing I didn't point out in the other areas, but it's the same anywhere. These black lines running through, these are fault lines.
Hey, Jerry.
So all the fault lines are mapped as well. So sometimes, you know, going near the faults is a good thing because faults make things happen. I'm going to go back down to Arizona.
I can't remember if I said hi to Sir Rocks a lot, but
I
hello.
thought you did.
I just had to make sure.
Wow, it's struggling all of a sudden.
Rick!
Oh, just crashed.
Rick's in the house.
I don't know why it does that periodically. You know why? Because I had too large of a map. I need to scale it down when I'm...
Will Gaia track my movement by GPS? Do I have to be online?
No, it will track you.
That was from Johnny.
It will track you. If you have it open when you start off on your journey, it will continue to track you even if you lose cell coverage.
And you see that little record button?
You can record your
You
track.
can record your tracking, but you'd have to have your device with you, either phone or you can use your watch if it's connected to, you can link those too.
Okay. So, there's a fault line right there.
Josh, did I do that?
Fault line. So you can track fault lines too if you want. You can see them all running through here.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Over here. So there's that. So pretty handy information. The other one that I like to throw up here is mine and mineral resources sometimes. Like Julie was talking about, we go to the west of Prescott here. Get out of Granite Basin.
Hi,
now you can
Amber.
start seeing mining showing up.
Happy Easter.
Little red X's, little
Hey,
green
Phil.
X's. We hit that red X. Black Diamond Mine. Well, what were they doing back then? This was the North Star Consolidated Tungsten Mines. Margie C,
tungsten.
Evening Star. They were tungsten,
Tungsten.
surface and underground. And then that gives you where it was at. And then if you want to, you can go and see if it's still active. But the fact that it's red is telling me it's not. And if you tap on this, that'll tell you the same thing. It'll give you a full report.
So that's pretty nice.
So this is pretty handy. There you go, the Black Diamond, an ore body, 1,600 feet. And there's its location right there. Tungsten was the primary. Middle Proterozoic granitic rocks is what it was in. It was surface and underground. It was not significant according to this. And that was last operational, it looks like, in 1952.
I can put that down some. There you go.
So that's just on that particular one, which no biggie. Take that out, go back into Gaia.
Thank you very much, Aaron and Kayla, for
Close
that
that.
super chat.
So that was a red crossed one, meaning not active. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to hit a green one. And again, whatever layers you have up, you will get information for each one of the layers. So we have the bedrock geology. Wow, that was just hovering. We have the Kingman Field Office, which is BLM. Then we have the Copper King Mine and more on bedrock geology. So there's a couple of different bedrock geologies mixed in. So Copper King Mine, we're going to look at that.
Hi, John.
Zinc and lead, silver, copper, gold. There's your ores. Look at all those. Man, a lot of good stuff in there.
John says he finds he uses Gaia to use he uses Gaia to find the Chalcedony and Apache Creek campground area in Mexico. However, he says y'all find much better material there. Little note: we don't camp there.
Yeah.
We go elsewhere.
Yeah, we're in the area. That's all.
We're in the area.
That's all we will say. An unknown error has occurred. Of course it has, because my tablet is old and needs to be replaced. So anyways, you can use this to find some of the bigger mines and older mines and things like that. And
Hi, Rick Kreider.
that can be a good starting point for when you're trying to figure out, you know, if something occurred somewhere, well, okay, what were the conditions there? What was the lithology, and then you can look for something similar to be able to, maybe find it in another location nearby. So Gaia is okay on an iPhone? Yes, it is.
And yes, John, I did do a lot of research on the Apache Creek, Lee Russell Canyon with Gaia to pinpoint where all the agates were. So if you haven't seen the Lee Russell Canyon video, that is this app is how.
That's how Julie found where we went.
This is how I found out where all the agates were.
Okay, so here's an area that we often have people asking questions about.
Hey, Scott.
Lake Pleasant. What can I find at Lake Pleasant?
What can we find at Lake Pleasant?
Yeah, well, stay out of the lake itself, first of all.
Don't go to the lake.
It's a state recreation area, so you can't go there. But if we tap, look at this here. Isn't this interesting? Middle Miocene to Oligocene volcanic rocks. And then as you read through it, well, andesite, dacite, rhyolite. Well, people have heard of the Lake Pleasant Thunder Eggs. Well, that's kind of the place where it's going to happen, is in the rhyolite. So that should give you an idea of where you might find Lake Pleasant Thunder Eggs. And then you don't have to ask us for a location all the time.
That's the most asked location.
It is. But, I mean, if you look at this, okay, it's this lightish orange looking color.
Here, let me show one of the Lake Pleasant Thunder Eggs here. I found this outside. I don't know why it was outside, but isn't that pretty?
Got left behind.
It was a double, almost a triple. So, anyway, that's a Lake Pleasant.
Okay, and if I've missed anything that you guys are asking questions on, just
Hey,
repeat
Reptile
them.
Z.
Just repeat the questions, and we'll catch up to it. Because Jeff, show me where all the Kentucky agates are for. John says looking for rhyolite and andesite. That's pretty much, if you're looking for agates, or thunder eggs.
Look for rhyolite.
Yeah, but andesite and rhyolite are the big ones for agate producing.
Rhyolite, dacite. What are the other ones? The andesite, dacite, rhyolite. Those are the big ones. If it just says major, just basalt, you're not going to find anything.
So, okay, there's a couple different questions. I'm going to answer John's first. Can I link my watch or Garmin GPS to Gaia? So I have a Garmin smartwatch, and Garmin has its own programs that it likes to use, Garmin Connect and Garmin Outdoor, I think the other one is. Hang on, I'll tell you. Navigation. Oh, I don't have it on this one, do I?
Yeah, the Kentucky agates, I feel like they're like falling out of things and in creeks and things and stuff.
No, not that. Stop
Jeff, you found like the honey hole for Kentucky agates.
Garmin Explore. So it has Garmin Explore, and this ties to your watch. In my case, my watch. And then I can save all kinds of cool things in here. And then once I get it, yeah, it's fine.
Debbie said diggings for mining claims and info.
Once I get points, then I can take and export, and you can export it right into Gaia, because that's what I do.
Patricia asked Chat GPT, and it gave some locations of where to find Kentucky agates.
That wouldn't surprise me. Okay, and then Lava was asking, can you put points and stuff in? Yeah, so a cool thing about this, let me come down to some random location here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this off so it's not so busy. All right, there we go. And so, yeah, let's say you find yourself a spot that has agate or something in it that you want to mark it for. You just push and hold. And at this point, you've got options. You can either draw something I've actually laid out claims this way, or you tell it save, and then it's going to ask you to give it a name, and then you move on, and from there you can change its appearance. You can give it a flag. You can give it a campground site. There's a bazillion things you can do. So I'm just going to save it real quick. It's just a waypoint. Oh, I'm not showing the waypoints.
Bison says Onyx has a feature where I could drop an eye on the dead bodies, wild game, horns, rock features, vegetation, and more. This has that or something similar.
Yeah, that's
it
what we're
does.
asking.
Yeah,
So here's the waypoint. And then from here, if I want, I can tell it to edit, and I can change the look of it to any of the symbols. I can change the colors. I can do anything I want to the symbol itself. I can change the name in here, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to tell it to save. And then, if, center it on my map. You can add photos. And then under more, you can say, guide me. And if you say guide me, you're going to get two options, turn by turn or straight line. So if you do turn by turn, it wants to record a track, and I'm going to say do not record the track because I don't like to do that. But according to this, it's 131.8 miles from me. So we're not going to do that trip, obviously. I don't want to do that. I need to go back and delete that particular one in the middle of the Tonto National
And
Forest.
John said he found some rhyolite east of Highway 19 and north of Nogales, but he never had time to go there.
I need to turn that off
In
for
the
a moment.
Coronado National Forest. Yeah, that's something to definitely investigate.
I'll go find that later and delete it.
Thank you, Diane,
Anyways,
for the super
no,
chat.
those aren't supposed to be there. Get out of there.
Or for the sticker. Awesome.
Yeah, I turned all those off. So go away, waypoints. Okay, that's better. So yeah, you can put down a point and mark wherever you want to. You can get it to say anything you want it to say. Like I said, we laid out our claims this way initially, and then took the information, transferred it out of here. If I can go find that waypoint, it's somewhere down here in the Tonto. I think it's down here.
All those are old claims or
Some of them are active. The green.
Yeah, I was getting there. Active or old claims. But those are
There's that waypoint.
those are more, what are they? They're more commercial.
They're commercial. They've been around a while. So on this here, here's that waypoint again. I've tapped on it. Now, if you want to send this to your Garmin device, for example, though,
Thank you, Rick.
you do an export. And GPX is one of the best ways to do it. If you're gonna export it into Google Earth, do a KML. Google Earth will not recognize GPX. Anything else pretty much does. And so I'm going to say GPX, share file, and then it's going to come up with my list of things. Like, what do you want to share it to? I want to share it to my Garmin Explorer. So now it's going to go to my Garmin Explorer. And you just do the opposite to share it back the other way. Import successful. So now I have the pin here. So if I had the pin here, I want to go back the other way. It's this one right here. Come on. Oh, waypoint, that one. And you say share. And then you tell it where you want to share it to. And in this case, I should be able to pick GAIA. There it is. And I'm going to share it back to GAIA. Done. That easy.
Oh,
Now,
he can't do a super chat when he's a moderator.
oh, thank you.
Oh, Amber Andrews just gave a super chat. I want to thank everyone for just being the friendly people you are. I really appreciate all the Rock family. Thank you, Amber. That was very awesome.
So, appreciate that. Number one. Number two, I lost where I was going with something. I had something on my mind, but I'm going to delete this before I forget.
You were doing waypoints.
This. More. No, I want to get rid of this. Not archive. What happened to delete?
I think your delete deleted itself.
Crapola. Well, that's going to be a problem later on.
Yeah.
I've got a waypoint for no particular reason.
Well,
you know what? Let me
you know what? Where is that? There's a lot of springs around there.
edit. Let me just fix this real quick.
There's a lot of springs around there.
I'm just going to call it test. Good enough.
Okay.
It's simple, easy. No, just save it in a folder. I don't really care which folder. I'll get rid of it later. I know how to find it now. Okay. So those are the main things that we've done. One of the other things you can do, I'm going to take off the mines and mineral resources. Recreation sites can be kind of nice. Normally the Forest Service roads and trails, at least in the National Forest, will give you enough information to find the recreation sites. But if you want to pull that up, you can. Lately, we've been doing this one a lot, cell phone coverage. Because
Amber said she really needs this after last month of work. It was brutal.
it seems like the further out Julie and I are going, the less cell phone coverage we're running into. And so, whoa, shoot, those are all back. How the heck did that happen? Delete, cancel. Ah!
It's okay. I got it.
Okay. Son of a biscuit.
It's all like zoomed out anyway.
Not the point. It's still pretty easy to figure some things out. Anyways, cell phone coverage is kind of important because we find ourselves going further and further out.
Just a screenshot.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we want to have cell coverage so that we can at least, you know, stay in touch with people or in case of an emergency or, you know, maybe we want to,
Kelly, there's no editing on this. It's just going to stay like this.
yeah, it's just going to stay that way. Maybe we want to do a live while we're out rock hounding and we want to make sure we have enough cell phone coverage. So you can come out here. If you tap on that little thing, according to this, you're going to have 4G and 5G data. Now, that is not always true.
Oh, YouTube has a built-in blur function. You can add the blur after the live in studio.
Oh, nice.
Super easy. Wow, that's cool.
So, like I said, it's kind of handy if you're going into remote places. Like, you know, I don't know if there's a road back in here, but let's just say that, you know, we wanted to go rock hounding back in here.
That's so crazy, Rick.
Okay, there are some roads. Well, maybe camping up in this area isn't such a good idea. Maybe we should stay somewhere closer over into here where there's cell coverage. Now, of course, you have to go and prove that there's actually cell coverage there.
Yeah, which...
Just because it said it doesn't mean it is.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it is.
So...
Because our campsite a week and a half ago said that there was cell coverage and there was nothing.
Yeah.
You have to go ground proof that.
So...
Our cell phone coverage, the closest cell coverage that we had was 3.5 miles away from our camp spot.
Yep. And then the air quality, we've used that during allergy season just to get an idea of, you know, how bad's it going to be for Julie.
Yeah, Don, you can still rewind and screenshot that.
And then I like using the wildfire one during the summer months because if there is something going on and we're planning a route, I want to know ahead of time because, I mean, I have other ways of doing it, but this is just faster and easier. Then I can plan routes around the fires and the closed roads and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I like doing. I don't think there's anything current going on right now around us. There was the other day, but yeah, nothing going on. So all quiet in the West for once. So, any further questions at this point?
Yeah, any questions? Oh, we should probably talk about, well, we did kind of talk about like how to find, we touched a little bit on how to find rocks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like for agates, what to look for.
Mm-hmm. Quartz, you want to be looking for granite.
Well,
primarily.
I
mean, you can find quartz in other places too, but
not necessarily granite. Like let's go over to Kingston Peak, for example, or
okay, so here's another wonderful function here. when you open this back up, you've got the search function. And this is one of the things I really love about GAIA, is it has geographic names that most of the time maps won't recognize, like Google Maps. Kingston Peak, and then it's going to give me a list. You mean California or Colorado? Well, I mean California.
California.
And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to say center on map. So here we are, Kingston Peak, California.
I'm going to go get more ice.
Well, you were leading this discussion, so you better get on over here.
Well, no, I gotta go get more ice. Just
I'm
check the
teasing.
mythology.
Okay, so Kingston Peak.
You know where we were.
Yes, I do. I'm trying to tell where we were based off this map. Nope, that's not correct. That did not center where it's supposed to. There it is, Kingston Range Wilderness. This is where we want to be. So, in this area, there's a few things going on. And for the amethyst claim that we went to a month or two ago, whatever it was, their claim is over in this general area. You can look up this video and contact them. They'll take you out for a minimal fee to get some pretty decent amethyst. Oh, I turned off bedrock geology, didn't I? So I got to turn that back on. There. And so out in here, where their amethyst is going on, well, once again, it's granite.
Yep.
Like I told her. So, and there you have it. You can look up all this interesting information. And it says even quartz latite, minor monzonite, granatite, and granite. So it's all through this area.
But over in our side, you can find it in cherry tonalite.
Yeah, which is another type of granite.
It is a type of granite.
It's
yes.
just a name for that layer. And then this one here being a different color, that's Precambrian rocks.
Yes, it does work for Europe.
Yep. So you got conglomerate, mudstone, sandstone, dolostone, gneiss, marble, limestone, hornfels, quartzite.
Hello, Romania rockhound.
So there's chert down in here. So there's some interesting stuff over here on this other side that might be worth investigating at some point too. So,
Yes, Turtle, if you are sitting in a hotel room in Roswell, New Mexico, you can find somewhere close to rockhound. If you know the layers you're looking for.
If you know the layers you're looking for, which comes into learning a little bit about some geology so that you can then turn around and apply it in this format. Because this isn't going to tell you where to rockhound, but if you're clicking across layers and you've got a little bit of knowledge of some geology, you can start coming up with some reasonable ideas of where something may occur. Like this one here is Quaternary, alluvium, and marine deposits. Well, what do you think you're going to find there?
A lot of crap.
Probably not much. I mean, some marine deposits, you might find some fossils in there,
River rocks.
but I would suggest more than likely not. So
You can find stuff that's washed down. It'd be like a buffet. It would be a buffet of rocks.
So here's tertiary non-marine rocks. That's interesting.
Non-marine
Sandstone
rocks.
conglomerate.
So there is nothing marine there.
No, you got sandstone, shale, conglomerate, breccia, ancient lake deposits. It doesn't
So
say non-marine, but
why-
why is there lake deposits?
So I would think that there would be.
So would I.
So that would be something to go and investigate.
That makes me curious.
Yeah.
So
Where's that at?
that's over by Kingston.
Oh.
Yeah. So again, this isn't going to tell you where to rockhound.
Jeff says, does it have a layer for landscaping rocks?
Yeah.
That might be handy for me. No, Jeff, that's also called a buffet of rocks.
You know, it won't tell you where to rockhound, but you can start using it to look at things and think to yourself, okay, if I know this occurs in this particular area, what were the things that were happening here? So let's do this for giggles.
And then you can put a pinpoint and then find the roads and trails to lead you to that pinpoint.
Let's go to Dugway, Utah, shall we?
That's how I do it.
Yes. We're going to go to Dugway.
Allison says, I love rock buffets.
Yes, they're the best. All right, center on map. So Dugway. No, I want the Rockhound spot. That is not where you took me.
Yeah, I made a meme a few years ago that I was in this wash and it had so
Oh, wait, yeah, it
many
did. Yeah,
just
it did.
rocks. And so I took a nice picture and
Sorry.
I said, this is a Rockhounds buffet.
Although that's the Dugway town. Rockhounding spot should be... No, you pain in my backside sometimes.
I made a lot of memes like 4 or 5 years ago
I needed to be specific.
that it never caught on with anybody.
Dugway geobeds. That's what I needed to put in there.
I think people thought I was weird back
What?
then. All the memes that I made back 4 and 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were in that one wash, and I said this is a Rockhounds buffet, or Rockhounds call this a buffet.
There we go.
Or something. And
All
then,
right.
And then the cabbing meme.
Yes. All right, so there you go.
Funny.
Dugway geobeds right here. So we know what happens in Dugway. They're not geodes, they're thunder eggs. Those are the actual pits that people dig in. Okay, so knowing that, let's check this layer out.
Arizona landscape rock
Lake
is
Bonneville deposits.
crap.
That's a bunch of garbage.
Although Brian's parents' house is great to rock hound in.
That is not accurate.
You can find some really cool rocks in their landscape
That
rocks.
is accurate. Rhyolites. There you go. Dacitic tuff. So it's in northwestern Utah.
Okay, so tough.
It's rhyolite and dacite.
Oh, okay, so yep.
And that's why you get thunder eggs.
That's why you get thunder eggs. Major rhyolite, minor dacite. That's a great place.
And then you can go and click here and look further. So based on that, and we know that this is what they call the Dugway geobeds, which there is some alluvial stuff that's happened here, but the layer that it's in is the yellow that you're seeing here. So knowing that, well, where else is there some yellow where you may find the same thing? Possibly over there. So this is kind of how Julie and I do the things that we do, is we see where things occur, and then we look nearby to say, okay, well, if it occurs there, wonder if it occurs all in this big stretch of it over here. Well, let's plan an expedition and go check it out.
Yep.
And then we go and we walk and we search and we walk and we search and we spend a few days, and some days we land on good stuff and some days we get skunked. But that's how we do it.
Derek.
What's that?
Derek. Turtle, his screen name is Kermit, password is greenlover01. And Jeff says landscape rocks in Albuquerque is freaking sweet. And yeah, we've seen the proof of that. What's Dugway? Oh, Dugway. What's Dugway? That's funny. John says head northeast from Roswell on Highway 70, cross the Rio Grande River, and immediately turn left on the first dirt road. Head north approximately 5 miles, stopping to explore. Pecos Diamond Common there. Yes, it is. Yes, we found some great Pecos diamonds.
So check this out. Right next door to the rhyolite dacite,
That's in the Seven
got limestone, dolostone, and shale
Rivers Formation.
right next door.
Oh, dolomite.
So that could be interesting to see what's in there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can always put it into, you can change your perspectives. I didn't show you this kind of stuff. And zoom in and
You can see the mountainous
you
range.
see the mountainous range, the break in between. I'll take off the geology layer because, again, sometimes it's just a little too much and it skews what you're looking at. So this is where I have, we saw satellite topo. Now you can see the topo lines. So now I can start looking to see, okay, well, how steep is this going to be? Because everybody knows these are never accurate when you look at it from this perspective. And it's like, oh yeah, it's just a little skip up the hill here, and then you start looking at the contour lines and you realize what the distances are between them, and you start going, oh crud, why am I not able to get in there closer?
I don't know.
Well, let me just do this. It's probably why it doesn't like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're too Angled.
So I can look here and I can see, okay, the 5,600 foot line. And then what are my increments? I don't know because I don't have my map legend up. Here's 5,400. So that's only 200 feet and that's 50-foot increments. So that's not too bad, you know, but what's my distance? Well, here it's 500 feet is slightly longer than my pen cap. No, about the pen cap. So you're going up 200 feet in 500 feet. You do rise over run. That's 200 divided by 500. That's 40% slope. So 40%, not 40 degree, 40%.
40%.
Okay, so here's something you guys probably don't really know.
Should I turn the camera
Yeah,
around?
turn the camera around.
Okay.
We might be done with this for right now.
Okay.
Slope is an interesting little animal. It's always rise over run times 100. You get your percent of slope, okay? Now, if you're talking degree, okay?
Or
45 degree, that's degrees. 90 degrees, okay? Now, percent, maybe 40%. 90%.
squishing my head.
200%. Okay?
I had to have fun
If
with
you're
that.
talking percentage to get a cliff face, it's 200% slope.
Thank you, Mr. Turtle.
So remember that. So if you tell somebody you're on a 100% slope and it's a cliff, you're lying. That's a 200% slope. Okay?
You're lying.
If you're at 100% slope, you're slightly over 45 degrees.
Or you don't know.
So
Or you just don't know.
you just don't know. I know. But it's just, there's a difference between percentage and degrees. And so you want to make sure that what you're telling somebody is accurate. So
How about free? I feel another one coming.
free
Turtle.
what? I don't want to know.
How about free?
Oh, I think it's going to be shipping is where he's headed. All right. So that was kind of Gaia in a nutshell. As I said, you can have it record your tracks. I don't do that. If you do record, be careful. Because if you make it public, actually I could show you that. Anybody that's made their track public out here, I can trace their steps because it's on Gaia. You can just follow it. And that can be a not good thing if you're a rock hound.
We had a friend that got lost, and he sent us his walk of where he got lost, and it showed up on Gaia. So he can send us where where he walked, and then when he sent it to us, because he got lost in the mountains, we got to trace like where he went, where he got lost, and then it was placed on Gaia. So that's kind of a cool feature too.
I just don't like recording my tracks like that.
Thank you, Mr. Turtle.
You know, like for us, if we're going into unknown territory, first time going in to check it out, I'll leave a pinpoint with my watch at the truck. And then when we're out, and then I can turn around with my watch and just say, oh, that last pinpoint, yeah, take me back to that. And that's how we navigate back if we need to. The other thing I would tell people to do is if you're given a pinpoint for an area, doesn't matter if it's a meeting location or whatever, drop that into Gaia or type it in, because you can actually type in the coordinates too. It's not any more difficult. You go into the search bar and you just type it in that format, degrees, decimal, minutes, and it'll locate it.
Hi, Dave.
Spend some time looking around that whole area, because going out just blind and not even knowing some general geographic locations, you know, not knowing what the creek name is that you're walking along, or not knowing the high peak that's right there, not knowing the road or the road numbers, that's just not really good for you as an individual to be able to navigate your way around. You need to spend some time looking at the map so that you're better prepared, so that you know what you're getting into. So when you get up there and you realize that, you know, Mount Whitney is the big mountain off to the side of me over here that rises up to 14,000 feet. Yeah, I don't want to climb that. Good, I knew that ahead of time.
Thank you so much,
So-
Rick. And thank you so much, Josh.
Should not knowingly jack someone's claim. Yeah, that would be nice. Were you logged in with Facebook account on Gaia? No, I think I have an outdoor active account is what you have to do. It's all part of the thing when you purchase the app. It has you set it up. Don't buy the outdoor one that's like $90 or something. I've never used it. I've not seen any use for it. Stick with just the Gaia.
Cheryl has a point. I don't blame Brian for not making his location public. He still has a very angry driver looking for him over thumbs down. That is so true.
Actually, my location is public. He's welcome to show up anytime.
Oh my gosh.
And-
Totally forgot
and you know
about that
what?
one, Cheryl.
I'm still disappointed in him as a human.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Wait, how can we do this?
That's bad.
Yeah.
Looks like a cow udder.
Okay, yeah, we're not doing that. That just looked bad. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, so I
Time
thank
limit
you,
was
Yvonne.
hit. We didn't make it.
Oh well, there was
That's okay.
there was stickers and then there were gifts
Oh,
as well.
okay. We're counting the stickers even
yeah,
though it
yeah, we're
doesn't.
counting the stickers.
So we probably made it.
It doesn't count the stickers or the gifts, so I don't know why that doesn't. There should be like an option that it counts that.
Yeah, it
So,
should.
yeah.
Okay, so further questions
So
on this
thank you
one.
everybody for all the stickers, the super chats, the memberships,
All of it.
all of everything.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah,
That's
thank
the
you
thing.
very much.
It's very, very much appreciated. Do you guys feel like this was useful? Was this beneficial for you? Is there more that I can do for you to help you out with this?
Any questions? Any questions on rocks mapping?
Everything in between.
Anything in between? And you can go back and rewind and watch again if
And
you need to.
you can always get a hold of us and we'll answer questions related to Gaia if we can.
No, the number is not going up because the time limit has passed, but we count the stickers and the
We count them.
yeah, we count them. So
Yeah.
no.
Thank you, Mike.
For us, we have met the goal.
We're pretty
Thank
happy.
you, Mike.
Have you used the diggings? Yeah, we've looked at the diggings, Debbie. The one that lists the small claims and whatnot.
It's not accurate.
It's not always accurate.
because ours you cannot find.
Ours still hasn't shown up, and they've been active for coming up on 3 years.
And we know a lot of other people's that are not on there as well. We know a lot of other claims that are not on there. So thank you, Taz.
Wow,
Thank you, Bert.
Dave Lee, start over from the beginning.
Okay, so about Gaia.
And again, we're not sponsored by them. We don't get anything out of this deal. It's just a very useful app that we've gotten so comfortable and familiar with, and we tell people about it all the time because it's also an easy way to trade information back and forth.
And again, if you're going into a non-cell coverage area, make sure you have that app up because it is still working.
If it's open before you get into the non-cell coverage, it'll stay operational.
It'll stay operational. So if you get lost out there in no cell coverage land, you can find your way out.
And before you even leave cell coverage, you can always open up your map, your screen, and delineate the area and say download maps, and it will download it for you and save it onto your device.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you so much for that. That was awesome.
Oh, shopping for a cabin setup. Very nice.
Oh, wow. That'll be fun.
Yeah, compass and map, Taz. Yeah, that's how I started, was map and compass. And so when they finally gave us GPS units, it was, just amazing. It was, oh my gosh, look what we can do. And now look what you can do. I mean, it's kind of spooky how much information you can get.
I was the one that sat behind my dad on road trips and was looking at the maps and just following. And I would see features on the map and I would line them up to where we were when we were driving.
Derek, I don't think you need to download every single map, dude.
Yeah, you
I don't download it unless we absolutely need to. I just leave the app and run it when we're
Yep.
moving around, and I don't download stuff unless I absolutely have to. So I don't know if you want to download everything because it's gonna take up a lot of your phone memory.
Yeah.
Debbie's wanting to know how to keep your info private. I'm gonna get into that in just a second. And then the Opal guy says, you know, the old way of mapping was dead reckoning, meaning if you can't reckon, you're dead.
Yeah, you did.
That is
You
as
lost
long as your
forever.
battery holds out. Yeah, battery life is one of those things. We have a little portable charger, smaller than a phone, that I'll charge up, throw in my pack, and then it can keep it going for another 8 to 12 hours, something like that. So, you know, we're always planning for that. But I also have a compass in my pack, and if nothing else, before the battery dies, I'll at least get it. I have my watch. That's the big thing, and it'll stay on forever. But I can always shoot an azimuth and then start doing my route from there. So there's some ways to do that.
Patricia Bach said, my mom got us lost in Memphis and Dad told her to give me the map and to get him out of there.
Are your claims on Mindat?
No, we're not
I
on
don't think they
Mindat
showed up on
either.
Mindat either for some reason, but
It is an app that you can get through the App Store on your phone or tablet or iPad.
yep.
And
It does have a desktop application as well. So you can run it off your desktop and send yourself points and things like that. The desktop is a little more, it's very different from what the phone and phone app versions look like. I would just say it that way. It's got the same stuff. It's just a very different layout. It's not, I just stick with the dang phone thing personally, the tablet.
yeah.
Debbie, I'm going to go in right now. She wants to know how to keep her stuff private. So if we can flip this around for just a second,
Okay.
I will show you how to keep this private.
Nostril shot. You're welcome, guys.
Sweet. Okay, so to keep your stuff private, you go to settings, and it should be
Here,
under account. I disabled analytics. I do. This is all sync with the Gaia cloud because everything goes into the cloud and then it resets itself. Cellular data, privacy controls. Right here, private profile.
Cheryl said that she used to have a big spiral bound city app that used to help get her ex around to his jobs. No fun, but she learned to read a map.
But yeah, that's where you do it. So you go under settings. I'll hit it again. Settings down here. Go to your account, privacy controls, and you can go from public to private. And you keep your activity private. So for me, only followers. If somebody's following me, they can see my activities and posts. But I don't post anything either, so you won't see anything.
Yvonne's mom used to call her the navigator.
Diane, Gaia makes Google Earth look obsolete. And Google Earth is good, don't get me wrong, but there's way more information that you can pull out of it. Google Earth is a good starting point to get some information, and then you need to be able to transfer or translate what you're looking at in Google Earth over into Gaia to get more information. Because Julie starts off on Google Earth initially, and then she starts looking up Gaia to match up.
Yeah, well, Gaia, because, you know, if we're going from point A to point B, like if we're going from here to Utah, you know, we use that for travel routes and you know, where the next gas station is and things like that. When we're going off-road, I use Gaia. Or I do it two ways. I have one map open for Gaia because I like to know what lithology we're driving through. And then I go back, you know, to find gas.
Mm-hmm.
So I do it both ways.
Hang on, my dad said something here. To Dave Lee, SF. What is that?
Hey, Tom.
What's going on there, Dad?
How you doing, Dad? Two Smoke joke. Is it just called Gaia GPS?
Yeah, it's just Gaia. It looks just like
I put the symbol on
That symbol right there.
Yeah, I put the symbol on the thumbnail. Nowadays, Mr. Turtle said 9 out of 10 people would still get lost, even if an atlas hit them in the face. Yes, I'm wondering how many people don't know what an atlas is. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would say, "What's an atlas?"
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, up until even 2 years ago, I still had a standard atlas in the behind the seat of the truck. I don't anymore, but I do often think about buying one.
Yeah, I think we
do.
we need to get up to date ones too. I like paper because paper can't have a low battery and die.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, with where we're going, I think we do enough research before we get out there that even if the batteries were to die, we can still work our way around because we've studied it well ahead of time. But I don't know. It's personal choice, I mean, if you're still comfortable with a paper map, use a paper map. There's nothing wrong with that.
Trisha, my oldest daughter would end up in Florida if it wasn't for GPS. At least you can follow GPS,
Well, they don't even know how to count change back properly.
No.
They don't know how to read a second down on a watch or how to read cursive. That's true.
Cheryl, I know, Julie. Alice is the guy who carries the world on his shoulders. So true. Isn't that a statue or something?
Aaron, paper can't malfunction, but you can when you spill your soda on it.
Oh, gosh, yes. That's true. Hey, you laminate it.
That's funny. So, yeah, you want to flip that back around. I think we're
Yep.
good, unless there are other questions. But, yeah, we just, we've talked a lot about Gaia with different people at different times, and I keep saying, oh, hey, we're gonna spend a day and go over Gaia, and then everything else happens, and we never get the time, one-on-one with people. So we thought today would be a good opportunity to do this and try to help some folks out. Hopefully it makes a difference.
A lot of people have been asking us about mapping and Gaia and how to use it. And
yeah, how did you find this? How did you find that? Well, it started with Google Earth. It ended up at Gaia.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. And again, that's part of our way of doing things, and it's not the only way. It's just the way that we've chosen to do it.
Yeah, Debbie says a good sense of direction helps.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And Amber, if anybody wants to answer Amber, she asks if anybody has any advice between Kingsley North Cabber and a Cab King. So I don't have experience in that. I just have a high-tech diamond slant lab.
Yeah.
So
Taz is asking, can you export your data to a Garmin GPS/radio unit? I think off the lap or the desktop site with the correct cable connected to your Garmin, you can select it as something to download it into, but it needs to be a Garmin that actually is one of the navigation type, not just the spot device, the SOS emergency only, because I don't believe those take any data points for navigation.
And Jeff, yeah, they lay down steps around the ash crack and ash hole to make it look like buttocks. Buttocks. That's the butter.
But yeah, I mean, like I have a Garmin smartwatch, and I use the Garmin app, Garmin Explorer, to transfer data back and forth between Gaia and Garmin. So I can take any point I have in my Gaia, move it into my Garmin Explorer, and it'll pop up on my watch. So that's just app to app right there. How do you laminate a piece of paper? You don't, you laminate it.
Laminate.
So, okay. Well, if there's no further questions, do we want to...
Any more questions?
We want to do something else to cause some trouble?
Is it? Yeah.
Because we've been at it for almost an hour and a half now.
Yeah, it's almost been an hour and a half.
I was hoping for an hour, so sorry about that. But
your chat left. Oh, and does anybody...
It's back.
Oh, yep. should we show people how to play back live chat again, just in case anybody's new here? We found out how you can play, if you don't know this, if you go back to watch a live video, you can watch the live chat like it's happening now later.
Okay, so I will pull up a different video to show that.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Let me go into here and I'll pull up one of ours.
Take your volume down too.
It's already down.
Okay.
It's been down the whole time.
Okay, so Brian will show you this. On how to do this. Because we figured it out. So you can play back live chat.
On any video.
On any video. Well, if the person has disabled it, which most people do, I think.
Don't know.
So.
Let me see if this one, I got to get through the.
He's got to get through
the commercials first, because, you know.
Let's see.
All right, here it is.
Okay.
Turn this around.
Yep, I'll turn it around.
All right, so this is a video we did, a little while back.
Go down a little.
It's right here.
Okay.
That's where I'm going, okay?
Okay.
Rock Counting, beautiful Arizona agates with J&V Rock Counting. If you look under here under comments, you look over and there's a white dot and there's a grayed out dot. If you do that, you are now on the live chat replay, and you can click that, and it will keep time with where the video is.
That's pretty cool. Look at that.
So you can go back and see. So, you know, this was just a premiere. So we were talking with everybody during the premiere if you wanted to see what we were talking about at the time. And of course, we weren't verbalizing. We had to type.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. What's cool now is I will grab one of our old lives. Let's see, live cutting open Friends Ranch Under Eggs. This was last Wednesday's live. Once again, kick it over, live chat replay, and it is keeping time with where we are in the video. And I scrolled through way late.
Okay, so Debbie said show that again. I'm going.
I just did.
Get by him.
Did y'all see that again?
Okay, show it again. Hey, tell them it can happen with lives and regular videos.
Yeah, no, you can't chat with that, but if you were to watch the videos and you wanted just to see what they were chatting about, you can, but then you can turn around, okay? If you go to back and you want to say something, then you go right into here and you can comment and put any comment you want. And then you can go back to that right there, live chat replay, and you catch right back up to where you left off. So, because we had some people asking us, well, I'd like to hear, what you got, or I'd like to see what was being said when you guys were responding to people. Well, now you can. So. And I'm sure some of you knew that, and some of you probably know about GAIA. You probably know more about it than even I do, which is great, But when we can, we're going to give you guys information and share all this stuff. So, because why not? Let me close some of this stuff out. I got way too much stuff going on. What the heck? Oh, it's a commercial. Had a commercial notification on my watch. That's awesome. So, unless there's any other questions, I think that's all we got.
Oh, and I would like to add that I'm also about to, on our AZRE team memberships, I'm about to drop another video of when Brian and I got stuck in the Katy Mountains.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been editing that. Yeah. And so that will be on the AZRE team memberships only. And so I'll be putting that, there's just a few more things I have to fix on that, but that was a scary day. So we will put that section, it's just when we got stuck, out way before the video even comes out. So, I mean, it's going to be months before that video comes out, but we're throwing that out for the AZRE team very, very soon.
Cool.
In the next day or two. So.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So just letting you know. And anybody who just joined the AZRE team, again, Go check out all the other fun videos that we have, lives. We rock counted at night once. Mike Webb.
Saffordite Mike.
Saffordite Mike.
He is the Saffordite king. We bow to you.
We bow to you. Bow to Mike.
Yeah.
Man, he just found him.
Who's going to win, Brian or Julie? Mike.
Mike. There was a third option.
Yeah, everybody just discounted Mike right away. Mike's like, I'll show them. Watch this.
That was so funny.
That was classic. I loved it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Magic 8 Ball.
What are we doing?
Are we doing a giveaway tonight?
Let's see if it really does
See
say
what it
it.
says. Better not tell you now.
Okay, we'll wait 30 seconds.
Magic 8 Ball, are we doing two
Two
giveaways
giveaways tonight.
See, I wasn't specific.
James.
Don't count on it.
Well, we're doing it anyway.
No giveaway tonight. We're
Oh,
leaving.
darn. Bye.
Now we're doing it anyways.
Okay.
We can't trust the Magic 8 Ball for everything.
Yeah, we cannot trust the Magic 8 Ball. Okay, so anybody who wants to get these boxes of rocks that we have, Brian cut a rock that was pretty much his favorite, and he put 2 of these little slabs in these boxes.
Well, it was my most recent favorite.
Okay, it's his most
It's
recent.
not my favorite. It's a recent favorite.
It's his most recent
I mean,
favorite.
it was a pretty cool rock.
It's pretty cool.
It was way more expressive than I think anybody gave it credit.
Yes.
So
Anyway, there's a slab in each of those boxes.
let's see, what do we got running around in here
I
tonight?
was shocked that he
72.
actually threw that in there. So,
We got 72 in here tonight.
yep.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do.
Y'all know what to do.
You're gonna put a start in.
Oh, I'm going to put the start.
Julie will be putting the start in when we're ready.
Okay.
Okay. And everybody that's in here, you're going to pick a number between 1 and 500. Duplicates do not matter. Don't worry if you matched somebody else, but you only get to pick one number. Okay. Between 1 and 500. And then we're going to pick 2 winners from those using the random number generator.
Cheryl said we would get in a lot of trouble if you lived your lives based on what the Magic 8 Ball says. We've been doing that so often lately. In fact, when we were on our last trip, the Magic 8 Ball determined what we were eating for dinner.
Yep. That's true.
It's true.
We asked it what we were eating. It said nope. Then it
Nope,
went,
nope.
yep.
Yep. Okay, that's what we're
That's
doing.
what we're having.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're living off the Magic 8 Ball at this point. It's kind of fun.
We did go to In-N-Out.
Hang on to those numbers. We're not ready
Wednesday.
yet. Not ready yet. Okay, and so when Julie puts the start in next to her name, we will start taking the numbers.
Okay.
Up to you.
And start.
There it is. Clock's ticking.
Putting your numbers from 1 to
500.
500. And duplicates don't matter. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yep, we will straighten your stuff out.
Yeah, we'll straighten it out.
The almighty 8 Ball. That's right.
Yeah. Almighty 8 Ball. Numbers are coming in.
Yeah, numbers are pouring in.
I know. Everybody had their favorite numbers.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. How many of you are actually here just for the giveaway? I mean, they're just waiting for that to happen. How many of you don't really care what the heck we're talking about until we say the word giveaway?
Yeah. Giveaway. Oh, wait. We are here.
I'm paying attention now.
I'm paying attention. I'm here. Rick Kreider, the entertainment.
We're about as entertaining as watching grass grow.
Yeah. Giveaways are cool, but knowledge is better. Thanks, Kelly. When I saw you're going to do the guy thing, I didn't really care about the giveaway.
The guy thing.
The guy? Oh, GAIA.
Oh,
He meant to
Gaia.
say
Gotcha.
Gaia. Yeah.
Now we're just goofing around. Okay, I think that's it for numbers because now we're getting into everybody's answering our chats, which we appreciate. That's cool. No, you guys have some great comments in here. Thank you. You guys are fun.
And
did you put a stop in?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm working on it here. Oh, stop. Not start again.
Yeah, not start again. Stop.
Stop.
Oh, we had a number just come in. Sarah.
Sarah came in. Okay. And.
Oh, Tig Lily came in.
And stop. All right.
All right. There it is. Cheryl.
Who are you people? How do you...
All right.
No. How did I get to this channel?
We have 2 winning numbers.
All right. 2.
Box A is 165. Box B is 421.
I already know who box B is. It's Dave Lee. Because he put in 420.
Well, let's see if
I
somebody...
saw that and I laughed.
Let's see if somebody got 421 or 422.
Today is actually 420.
It is.
It's the day actually that my oldest was supposed to be born.
Okay, I got Winnie Tripp with a 169. That's pretty close to the first one. Moving through, moving through. Dun, 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 dun.
We're looking.
We're looking for...
We're looking.
Dave Lee with 420. You are correct.
Yeah. If there's anybody
see if anybody got closer
to that.
And 165. I might have skipped around there for a minute. I'll have to take another look. Oh, 165. Look at that.
Oh.
Romania Rockhound.
Romania Rockhound.
Looks like we're shipping to Romania.
Looks like we're shipping to Romania. Good thing we got all those super chats.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out. 165 on the nose.
Yeah. Wow.
Dang.
On the nose.
Nice job there, Addie.
Yep.
And then looks like it's going to be Dave Lee with 420. Yep, there we go.
All right. And then Dave Lee for box B.
Dave Lee.
And now we will show you what you get.
If you would like.
If you like. Tell us yay or nay. We can keep it a secret.
Oh, Dave Lee's first win.
Oh, wow. Yay.
Congratulations. Yeah, we can keep it a secret or we can show. It's up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Winner decides. Each one gets their choice.
Yep.
Dave says, please do. He wants to see what he's winning.
Each box is a little bit different.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Addie wants a secret.
Addie wants a secret.
Okay. So let me grab box B, Dave Lee. Here we go.
All right. Let me get a light over here.
It's going to be Christmas for Addie.
Yeah, Christmas for Addie. It'll come by Christmas.
Yeah, it'll get there by Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never shipped to Romania, so this will be interesting.
We've shipped to Poland.
We have shipped to Poland.
Yeah. Okay, where is the little button? Where's my button?
It's back here. You're way far away.
Oh, it's over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
stand by. I got it. Which direction?
Oh, that's on. Other way. There we go. Okay.
There you go. Bright lights.
Bright lights. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pull this out from under your camera.
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay, we're reorganized.
All right. Barely.
Yes, Dave, we have you in the system. Once we put you in, you stay there unless you tell us to remove you. So shipping you will be no problem.
We will...
Oh.
What?
Addie's going to do a video with what's in the box.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Very, very cool.
North Poland or South Poland? I think North?
I think it's north. No, it was kind of a little south.
Is it south?
Yeah. Okay, so these are from Round Mountain. This is probably a little geo. This one probably has some fire in it.
Maybe, possibly.
Possibly fire. Not sure. Or you could slab it out. And get that one. But I just don't know.
Well, for those of you that missed it, Addie is going to do a video on the opening of her box and post that. So we'll check out her channel when she gets that video done. So
And
you will be
then-
able to see what she won.
A piece of Haunted Ridge, brought to you by Tina G. She went there and sent me a big box of Haunted Ridge to give a piece out for giveaways. So that was super nice of Tina. And then this is it's an ash crack agate. It is gonna be.
Hi, Red Lady.
Hi, Red Lady. It's gonna be a secret because it is covered in crapola. But
Covered in ash.
yeah, it's covered in some calcite stuffs and things, but there are windows. There are windows. So that says, cut me, cut me. And then a piece of Arizona pet wood. It's got the black, the yellow, and the red. And that is from Dobell. And then this piece is from Luna. It's from a long time ago. A couple of years ago, actually, when we went to Luna. I think might even be in the rock reveal.
Oh, thank you, Ma, for putting that in.
Thank you, Ma.
She put the YouTube address for Addie, and I was just looking for it, and she's already got it up there.
And then this is one of our moss pieces. You can kind of go into that a little bit. It's a butt end, but it's a good butt end.
Yeah, Cheryl, when you said North Poland or South Poland, we were assuming you meant the north of Poland or the south of Poland, not that you were referring to it as two separate states.
It's very pretty.
Dave says his jaw's on the floor.
This is a piece of Katy Mountains. Look at that. I love the Katy Mountains.
Just cut that today.
Yeah, Brian just cut that today.
Oh, Mike made 2 more cabs with our clay material yesterday.
Oh, nice, Mike. Look at that. I love Katy Mountains.
Katy Mountains is cool. South
Just
Katie's.
love it. Yeah, this was from the South Katie's. So, a good little chunker here.
Allison, that's sassy.
It is sassy.
That's a sassy rock.
That's a sassy rack. And then we cut this one. How many days ago? We just cut this one.
Within the last week.
Yeah, this is a slab of one of our rocks.
One of the claims.
It was pink inside.
It's
or
crazy.
Mauve. I don't even know what you'd call it.
Oh, I got you, Cheryl.
What?
She was trying to say North Pole land or South Pole land.
I get it.
And her phone decided to auto incorrect
that. I mean, that is so pretty. I love this.
Is that potassium?
Nope.
No.
It's just a moss agate with a plume on top.
Well, the pink in there, I think, is somehow it came from either the manganese or the iron.
Yeah, manganese or iron.
Which.
Our grounds are very manganese and iron rich.
That's why we call it auto incorrect.
Auto incorrect, yeah. And then this.
At no time did I ever mean ducking.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is Brian's rock that he is we were surprised what was inside because the outside looked like crap.
Like I said, this was an underrated rock, and I had a feeling about it, and so I followed my intuition, and I picked it up, and then I cut it.
It was a very underrated rock.
And it is pretty dang cool.
And it is very, very cool. So, yeah, Brian, I mean, when he cut this rock, he's like, look at this.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm doing a short on this right now. We cut ugly rocks. And this was a very ugly rock. And so we were just cutting to see what was inside of some of these ugly rocks. And dang, were we surprised. So that was definitely a very nice surprise. But Brian cut that one on his own. We were not filming this one.
No, I just,
So-
like I said, I picked it up a while back, couple trips on the claims back ago, and I just had a feeling about it. And so I finally brought it in and cut it, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I was right.
He was right. So, Dave, that is your box that you're getting from us, and we'll be sending that out probably tomorrow, actually. Yep.
And then there was
So-
a bunch of you that
Yeah,
were,
you never know until you cut them.
Tasman, your box will be coming tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a bunch of boxes coming out tomorrow.
Um,
Thank you guys for being very patient with us. When I make the mystery boxes, when I see who it is, I try to tailor what they've liked in the past. And I'm going through thousands of rocks. And I really want to give you guys what you're going to really like.
Yeah.
And so it does take me a bit more time.
It's a very deliberate process.
It is. It really is.
It's not just grab a bunch of rocks, throw them in the box, and
No.
best of luck. It's very personal. I would
It is
call it.
personal to me because rocks, I don't know. I feel that rocks are, I don't know. Rocks are personal things
Yeah.
for me too. They like speak to me. And so I'm
Well, you
just
got
like,
rocks in your head, so it makes sense.
yeah, like for two people that, well, you'll see in some of the larger boxes, some of you will have gotten a cut rock. We've had boulders sitting out in our yard, and these boulders have had people's names on them, like in my mind. So when you've ordered a large box, we had to go and cut these.
Lava Bison, you got something amazing coming in your box.
So I had to, and it's just not Lava Bison. It's also, there's other people
He
as
just
well.
was the first one that popped into my
Yeah.
head because I stuck a rock in his box today from one that we cut
Yeah.
earlier. And
so, but we had to cut this boulder up because there was no way it was even fitting in a box, let alone nobody could do anything with this one huge box or boulder. So anyway, we had to cut it up into fours so that we could get a piece out of it for you and for another person as well.
And the reason lava comes to mind is because there's a specific rock that he was really going kind of crazy about from a previous mystery box that was sent to him.
Yeah.
So we found something along those lines.
Yeah, so Brian, actually, it was a couple weeks ago, hauled out a 30-pound boulder, and we knew that who this needed to go to.
Yep.
And so when it was time to do live sale, we just had to cut it. And luckily,
Well, we cut it into manageable pieces,
we
basically.
did. It's manageable now.
So it's manageable.
It is, but dang, is it gorgeous.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I would want to keep it because it is perfect, but I know it's going to a good home. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not.
It's going where it's supposed to go.
So anyways,
I think we're done for tonight. We've
Yes.
caused enough hate, havoc, and
we're
discontent.
done. I have food waiting for us to eat.
Thank you all for joining us
Yeah,
on
thank
your
you guys so
Easter
much.
Sunday. I'm sure, family and everything else that was going on today, you took time to, be a part of our little, whatever this is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And
I left my cup somewhere.
Jeff
Oh,
wants to
there it
know,
is.
how much do y'all think the big one I brought home weighs? Was that the one with the bots in it?
Boulder.
That boulder?
Oh gosh,
I'm going to guess it was probably
Jeff, you gotta weigh that.
25 pounds, maybe? Rough guess?
No, that's bigger.
Think it was
That's
bigger than that?
Bigger than 25 pounds.
I don't know about that. Anyways, there was I wanted to also follow up. There was others of you that have were
I think
invoiced
30.
and paid. Your boxes are going out tomorrow as well. The others of you that have not seen invoices yet, we're getting those mystery boxes put together. So Lava, you're in that group, and a couple of others. So just hang tight. We're gonna get them out this week. That's our goal.
We have
And that should finish them off.
I think we have 6 going out tomorrow, and then we have another
6 to do.
6 going out in the next couple days. I'm working on those boxes. So
Yep.
anyway, thank you guys so much.
Is the Magic 8 Ball letting us eat tonight? Magic 8 Ball. Do we get to eat the dinner that Julie has put into the
It's
crock
been
pot?
cooking for 10
tonight.
hours. Maybe 11 or 12. It's been cooking for 12.
Cannot predict now.
You know what?
Okay. Magic 8 Ball, are we eating dinner
I'm
tonight?
going to throw it.
I didn't say tonight.
I'm going to throw it.
You may rely on it.
Okay.
We're going eating.
See, you just have to threaten it, and then you get your way. That's all there is to it.
Okay. So with that, thank you very
All right.
much. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all the support. And video this Wednesday.
Video this Wednesday.
Video this
I'm working on it.
And then there's
I'm
a
working on that.
members
Boxes.
only video coming out as well.
Yes, that too.
Look, if you're not a member, it's $1.99 a month.
That's why my brain is fried. I'm doing so much.
All right. So
right.
with that,
All right.
we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
All right. We'll see y'all Wednesday. All right. Bye.
Bye.